Hello, beloved friends and family of light on YouTube and Facebook. This is Dawn DelVecchio coming to you live from Sedona, Arizona, and we are nearing the end of July 2019. Wow. It's really been something, hasn't it? Wow. I mean, I've been posting some short comments and things on Facebook and connecting with friends far and wide, and we're feeling it. We're feeling the fundamental energetic shift on the planet. So I wanted to come to you live today with some insights, some support, some inspiration and cheering team information. So, all right, let me get connected. There's a lot I want to share, so I want to be sure to bring it forward clearly for you. Okay, so as I record this on the 24th, I believe, of July, we are nearing the end of what's called the eclipse portal. So we've had two eclipses, a new moon and a new moon and a full moon eclipse, but the portal starts from the full moon before that to the new moon after that. So July 31st is the end of this window of time. Now, eclipse periods are periods of time where something is veiled at the new moon and revealed during that period or at the full moon. And they are times when we are called to really look at the themes and patterns connected with those eclipses by sign and house and all of that by sign mostly, to look at where fundamental change and transformation needs to happen. This is deeply underscored by the fact that these eclipses were connected with the planet Pluto, which is the planet of transformation. And of course, all eclipses are connected with the lunar nodes, which is about the evolutionary journey of the soul. So collectively, to summarize it in a very, very simplified nutshell for the non-astrologers among us, we are really looking at the fundamental shift that needs to happen in terms of old structures and old ways of doing relationship, family relationships, and structures of society in favor of bringing forth more love, more compassion, more nurturing, more care. So we are breaking down the old systems. And that is on a planetary level externally, but it's also internally. Okay, so then when we pair that with the energies that are at play here on the planet, which is that as an entire solar system, we are moving through a photon belt part of our galaxy that is of higher frequency, which means that Mother Earth and all of us on her need to raise our frequency in order to entrain with the cosmic soup we're swimming in. All of this leads to, wait, let me back up a minute. This frequency, this higher frequency, we see, this is proven scientifically, you can look it up, where we are in this, not the solar system, the galaxy, as well as the Schumann resonance, the frequency of Mother Earth is raising. So when we need to raise our frequency to entrain with a higher frequency, all that is holding us back in a lower frequency or heavy, dense energy, whether that's emotional energy or trauma in the system, if you will, or old patterning that's based in fear frequencies, hate, traumatizing, attack, all of that stuff. It's got to be purged from the system. This is the only way we can really raise up. And so my dear sister friend here in Sedona offered a beautiful analogy that I want to share with you now. So thank you, Deborah Emanuel, for sharing this last night when we were in circle together. There's an old commercial from the 70s with Ella Fitzgerald hitting a high note. She was a beautiful, magnificent jazz singer. She hits a high note and it shows her in the background, and it shows a crystal glass in the forefront of the commercial, and it shatters, right? So she brought herself, her voice up to a frequency that crystal literally had to break apart because it couldn't sustain the frequency, and it couldn't level up, we could say, to entrain with the frequency of her voice. And we know that opera singers do this, right? That's one of like the things, like a sort of archetypal concept of a opera singer is that where he can do that. They can hit these notes that crystal glass can't withstand. So it's a great metaphor for what's going on, or a great analogy of what's going on here, is that we are literally being bombarded by frequency that's calling us to entrain with it, to rise up, to reach and entrain, or what do we say, resonate with it, right? Like tuning forks. You got one tuning fork and the other, and then they come to a resonance. So what does all that mean to us personally? Well, for those who are living with great density on the planet, it means that they're going to see all the challenges that they see, whether it's trauma in the family, it's health issues, it's going on hate tangents, all of that. In the public arena, I mean, look at what we see. More sexual abuse, we're only beginning to see just how nasty it really is among the power elite. But it's starting to, the curtain is starting to open. We're starting to see what's really going on back there, and just how low frequency, how evil, dark, shadowy these people who control the systems really are. That's on the public arena. But how about us? How about us? How about the light workers, those who are holding the higher frequency, doing the best we can to work on ourselves, to clear our own baggage, to show up as light workers, to serve the awakening? How about us? What's going on? Well, it's been interesting because I share posts sometimes with things like, wow, I'm going through this really intense internal thing that's I can't be on Facebook for a while, and getting incredible feedback from some of you that you're going through it too. As one of my another brilliant sister friend, Jennifer Moore, says, we're circling the wagons. And indeed we are. Why? Because we are going deep now. Sisters, brothers, we are going deep now into the healing. What have you been carrying around for incarnations that needs to be cleared? So we're having a fundamental shift in consciousness, and we know that. Those of us who have been on this path for a while, we know it. And these are the times we came for. I can feel my guides coming in now. These are the times we came for. We have prepared for lifetimes to do this, but we are not ascended masters yet. We still have our own baggage that we're clearing out. And so I want to invite all of you to go deep within and to do it with deep compassion for yourself. Stop beating yourself up for the mistakes you've made. We've all made them. We have been conditioned over incarnations, and certainly in this incarnation, to stay connected with fear, to judge others, to attack others, to project outside of us what we don't want to own in ourselves. And when we start to do the deep work of reeling those projections back in, then when the shit arises, we have nowhere to turn but to ourselves to look at where we need to forgive ourselves, heal and clear things, and really shift from within. So again, it's deep, deep work. The eclipse portal is part of this. The 6 planets plus Chiron in retrograde is having us turn in to review, revise, revisit, reconsider, reassess, and really, really go into the deep states of healing for ourselves. So next thing I want to say is I pulled a card, and I feel like it's so intense in these times that I didn't want to use my Mythical Goddess deck. I wanted to go for the Come to the Point deck, which is the Osho Zen deck. To me, the Osho Zen Tarot deck is the deck that tells it to you straight without sugarcoating it. And sure enough, we got a card that does just that. So this is the 5 of water. And I think it's water. Yeah, the blue is the water card. But you could see this person, instead of having a clear mind or even a semi-focused mind, because they are clinging to the past, they are suffering with all this confusion and noise and distraction and distress and worry and old patterns of thought. And I almost see some of these things as like, all these things in here as like the synapses in the brain. You know, we know that when synapses fire together, they wire together. So if you have a pattern of thinking, like let's say every time you look at your car and it associates with the former spouse or partner that you've split with. If you have a pattern of looking at your car, thinking of the former partner, and then going down a rabbit hole of, and then they did this, and then this happened, and then that, and oh my God, I feel so bad about that. All that's wired in your brain. It's all wired there. And what happens is that stuff, and it's shit, starts creating havoc also in the body. And so what we have to do is have a way to begin to pull it away from ourselves and say, I'm not willing to let those synapses fire together anymore. So we have to change the patterning, but it begins really with letting go of the past. And for many of us who are empathic, sensitive, light workers who want to be in high service, we can carry around a lot of guilt about our mistakes before we started waking up. And that can very much be, I mean, look at the burden of this. Could you imagine that some of that wiring in there is guilt and shame and regret and all of that stuff? We got to let that shit go because it's just going to make us sick. And literally, I've been going through some deep, deep healing and clearing of those very things right now. And often triggered by physical symptoms. Here in Sedona, it's been extraordinarily hot. And at my age, I have been getting hot flashes and they've gotten extreme. And it can feel very almost imprisoning to not feel like I can go outside once 10 a.m. hits because I just go into this like apoplectic, heated state of distress. So that has forced me in on myself to look at where am I beating myself up over stuff that is so old, that has nothing to do with who I am anymore, that serves nothing and no one. Where do I need to forgive that and move on? Where am I still holding judgments, perhaps against others, whether that's public figures or old situations that again are irrelevant? And where do I need to really let go of anything in the past that's keeping me from being in this full present moment now and activating and connecting with the frequency of love for myself and for all that is. So this is what many of us are doing right now. And it can be a very internal experience, absolutely, because we have to do the work within ourselves. We have to forgive and love and accept ourselves and recognize, hey, you know, in that, whatever that situation was here or there, or, you know, maybe you're in a job you hate now. Hey, the things that I did to get me to this job that I hate now, and even though I can't see a way out right now, I did the best I could with the tools I had at the time. And that's not to be an excuse. We do the best we can with the tools we have at the time. If you have to make amends with someone, make amends. More important, you have to make amends with yourself. You have to forgive yourself. You have to stop beating yourself up for the errors of the past. Now, if you're still doing those things, like if you're busy, okay, here's a really good example that I see in a lot of otherwise very conscious people. And I take responsibility for myself because this is a pattern I have done many times in my life. We've got a certain level of awareness. We've got a certain level of consciousness. We've got a certain level of love that we want to share with the world. And we've got some mad skills. Often we have many mad skills, from empathic to energy healing to tarot, astrology, you name it. So we're like, right, I'm ready. I'm here. Here I am. Let me be of service. But then secretly silently in our minds or with our girlfriends or whatever, we nitpick other people's behavior. We judge them. We go, oh, I can't believe it. You know, can you believe they're doing that? Oh, if they would just, I love them to bits, but blah, 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 blah. Now, I get that we don't mean to be harmful, but I think it's really important for us to look at that behavior at this time. I think it's really important for us to look at that because first of all, A, if it's irritating you, guess what? It's something in you is being triggered, not them. And B, that is emanating a frequency. It is. And as I heard the beautiful Matt Kahn say yesterday, I was listening to a beautiful, one of his YouTube videos, one of his talks. What would it be like if we just, and I'm totally paraphrasing here, okay? I recommend you watch him yourself. This is a really awakened being. He said, what would it be like if every person we met, we greeted them, in our heart space, in our presence with them, like, hey, wow, thank you for being here. I recognize that you have survived probably some really challenging things. So blessings and congratulations for all that you've endured and survived to be right here, right now. This is genius. This is brilliance. This is compassion. This is divine truth. Why? Because this planet is a freaking tough place to live, people, and we all know it. It's kind of, Jesus said, he who has not sinned may cast the first stone. Same thing, said in a different way. So what would it be like if the next time we felt like we were irritated by someone's behavior, or even just felt like we were in a position to go, I love them, but blah, blah, blah. Instead, we just said, I don't know what they've been through, but I know just the very fact that they're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old and living as a human on this planet at this time. They've survived some things. And so high five, sister, high five, brother. How can I show up as love in your field? How can I show up as love in my field and offer myself that same compassion? Okay, so that was a lot that I wanted to say. Wow, all these people are suddenly watching. Hi, everybody. Lavinia, Kathy, Joan, Melody, Linda, Amaya, Penny, Giselle. Thank you. Who else is here? I can't see the ones who've already gone. Suddenly, everybody popped up on my screen. So hi, blessings. Thank you for your comments as well. Okay, so let me just tune in here and notice if there's a kind of a summarizing statement for us. Hang in there. Basically, I'm just getting, hang in there. Let's hold the light, sisters and brothers. Let's hold the light, right? Let's hold each other in the space of love and compassion. Let's be kind to ourselves. Find the people, the tools, the healing modalities that will serve you at this time. Dig deep into your shadow and do it with love and compassion, recognizing there is not one of us among us who is impeccable. If we were, we would be an ascended master. We have all come to this planet to complete or to move forward or to resolve some old patterning that has been with us possibly for many incarnations. We fall down. Let us be resilient and pick ourselves back up again. Let us lift as we rise, because right now on planet Earth, the masses are going to start awakening, and they need us to hold the light of love and to help them with our tools, our considerable tools we've been cultivating over incarnations and certainly years and decades. So be ready for it. Be the love that you wish to be. Forgive yourself and lift as you rise. I love you so much. Thank you, everyone. Mwah. Bye for now, and until soon.